Okay, so this is the large iceberg, B15A. This is the floating ice tongue, Drygowski ice tongue, and only 4 kilometers separates them right now. So this is where the iceberg has come in contact with the submarine mountain in the Ross Sea, and the iceberg is pivoting about this point. Once it loses contact with this through tides or melting on the underside of the iceberg will continue to move forward up towards the ice tongue. Well, this iceberg is huge. It's certainly the biggest piece of ice on the planet right now that's floating around. And it's about 80 miles long, and it's about 20 miles wide. So it's just massive. It's hard to really take that in, certainly not when you're there on the iceberg. You certainly can't see the edges of it. You have to be in space to get the kind of big picture view to see this iceberg in its entirety. What the satellite images have shown us is that this large iceberg, B15A, has begun a journey northward towards another large piece of ice that's fixed to the continent, Drygowski ice tongue. And they looked to be on a collision course, and then fairly suddenly the iceberg has run aground on a seamount. So now we're still waiting to see what happens next.
Does it mean that it's difficult to predict what happens next?
It is difficult. We can understand that the iceberg has grounded, and that's what stopped the iceberg. But what the processes are that are going to allow it to be released again, we understand those processes, but predicting an exact time of when it's going to be released, we can't do that right now.
General public?
We're not sure. We've seen this iceberg smash against other fixed pieces of ice and it essentially dents its bumper. But in this case, the ice tongue is well extended into the ocean, and there's a possibility that this iceberg, when it hits that ice tongue, will just snap the ice tongue off. So it's when the iceberg gets released from this contact that probably the motion will continue and we'll have our iceberg collision.